I notice a number of videos on the mark of the beast are proclaiming that the mark has arrived and that it is already being used. In fact, nothing that has so far been used is an exact fulfillment of the prophecy. Even the microchip implants that a few people are using at the moment to buy and sell are not being put in the back of the right hand. They have been put in the upper arm and in the left hand. As such, they are precursors and not the mark itself. Some people have capitalized on such technicalities to rubbish everything that we're saying about where all of this is heading. In addition, there are less obvious precursors in the form of microchips that are used to access various things, even though they're not yet being implanted into the body. For example, a football club in the UK recently stopped accepting cash for admission to games. People now need a microchip card to get in. Every day, hundreds, thousands of shops are becoming more cashless to encourage people to use a microchip card in order for them to shop there. What is happening all over the world at the moment is part of the conditioning that precedes the actual implementation of the mark. People and institutions that are working on this overall economic change recognize that Bible prophecies about the mark still present some resistance from people who know about the prophecies. Little by little, the system is breaking down people's resistance through precursors which are technically not the mark itself. They are particularly concerned about people like ourselves who know about the mark of the beast prophecy. Their actions are helping us to see the inconveniences that will come when the mark is fully implemented. And little by little, they are wearing down the resolve of many people to resist this trend. A secondary effect of all these precursors is that the younger generation is growing up to accept that this is the way life has always been and as it will be in the future. They will find it hard to question what is universally coming to be accepted as the new normal, which is microchipped transactions for everything they do. I and some of my friends have decided to draw the line now on some of these precursors of the mark as a form of self-discipline to prepare us for the kind of life that we will need to live when everything is in place for worldwide use of the mark. For example, years ago in Sydney, Australia, it became necessary to have a microchip in your car before you could cross the Sydney Harbour Bridge. We refused and just got used to crossing the river further upstream using smaller bridges. Little by little, more and more motorways around the city started using e-passes. So we got two. Then they started putting microchips into passports, and so we stopped travelling overseas when our current passports expired. This year they've stopped selling paper tickets for bus and train travel in favour of microchipped Opal cards, so now we have to get around without public transport. One day soon, they'll be putting microchips inside driving licenses and other forms of ID. It is becoming harder and harder to buy things, especially over the internet, without some form of microchip credit card. And certain government benefits are only being made available to people who've set up electronic cash accounts. All of this is causing more and more inconvenience. But it is also teaching us to count the cost of what it means to reject the mark. We think that it is easier to adjust a little bit at a time like this now, than to wait until the last minute and discover too late that we do not have what it takes to let go of everything all at once. Little changes in our lifestyle now, like not using motorways that require microchip e-passes, are helping us to actually experience a small taste of what life is going to be like during the Great Tribulation. Mind you, the tribulation is coming, and we'll be ready for it. We've been saying that a lot on this channel, but sadly, a lot of Christians say this with their lips that they think this is going to happen, but with their actions, they do nothing to prepare. It's all just theory, and little or no practice. I seriously doubt that many of these people will have what it takes to reject the mark when it finally arrives. We highly recommend that others consider what we're doing now. That is, live without some of the conveniences that we've come to take for granted. Together we can share our experiences, including